Hi, I'm Cassie, and I'm going to walk you through question 22 of the AAMC's official physics question pack. So this question is all about understanding how a phase change diagram works. So first of all, what is a phase change? A phase change is just when an object changes phases, like from solid to liquid, liquid to gas, etc. And the question gives you lots of extraneous information that you don't actually need to answer it. For example, it tells you that the metal is at 215 degrees Celsius. It tells you you have 100 grams of the metal. All of that is completely irrelevant. All we need to know here, and that's like classic that the MCAT does that, right? They try to distract you with all this other information, specifically numbers on these physics questions, making you think you need some equation, you're going to have to do some math, when actually this is a really simple conceptual problem. So what we need to know here is the fact that a metal has reached its melting point. What happens then? Well, if we take a look at our phase change diagram here is our melting phase. Melting, of course, is when you change from the solid phase to the liquid phase. And what do we have on our axes of our graph here? Well, on one axis, we have temperature, and on another axis, we have heat energy. In the question, basically what we're describing is that a certain metal has reached this point here, its melting point. But notice that there's quite a bit of melting that happens before that temperature starts to change again. In other words, that metal is going to change phases completely. It's going to go from solid to liquid completely before any temperature change occurs. And why is that the case? Well, that's the case because all of that energy, in this case, it says the student lights a flame underneath the metal. All of that energy of the heat that's being applied is going to breaking the bonds so you can melt that solid into a liquid. So it's going to breaking those bonds and not raising the temperature of the material. So only once all those bonds are broken and the metal has fully changed from solid to liquid do we see that temperature start to rise again. So the answer is going to be what looks like A for me. So when the student applies the flame, a little bit of that metal is going to turn to liquid, but the temperature is not going to change. Temperature is not going to change until all of that metal has melted. So if you've never seen one of these phase change diagrams before, make sure you just go ahead and Google one and take some time to get comfortable with it. Make sure you're familiar with all the terms, like you know what vaporization is, you know what condensation is. And I've seen this idea tested in many different ways on the MCAT that when you reach a phase change, whether you're melting something or vaporizing something, the temperature doesn't rise immediately until that whole phase change is complete. So make sure you're comfortable with that idea. So if this video helped, please give it a like and follow my channel for more content like this.